Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction and discussion video for the 7th episode of Season 4 of Babylon 5 called Epiphanies. Don't forget that you can see the full reaction for this episode on my Patreon channel. Check out the link in the description below. Last time we had a pretty quiet one, to be honest. Felt a bit like a filler episode. So we had Londo moving into the throne room on Centauri Prime. Susan and Lorien had a chat about immortality and love. Susan started to open fire on nothing in hyperspace. Londo and Via had a hug, and Delenn and Sheridan returned to Babylon 5. Think that pretty much sums it all up. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1. All Star Furies, they're attacking? A celebration. I'm not used to seeing celebrations in this show, so I wasn't expecting it. It's usually pretty much bad news.
We won.
Was that one of the monks dancing? That is.
But I can't stop thinking about what it cost us. And how much work is still ahead of us.
A lot of people died, but unfortunately that's war. Like I said, you won.
Embrace the moment. In the end, it's all we have.
Gotta celebrate it at this stage. Otherwise, what was the point of fighting for it? Have the celebration and then prepare for the rest.
Give me today and I will be happy.
That sounds like a famous quote, but I don't recognise it. Oh, was that? I really didn't recognise it. I think I just caught Great Britain.
The President has commissioned a new program involving Psychor, Earth Force, Night Watch, and the Ministry of Peace.
Well, that's a dream team.
The President can't trust anyone outside of the inner circle with the whole picture. But something has rattled him big time. The President wants Babylon 5 shut down. Permanently.
What? And that? He just said he can't say what the bigger picture is, but is that part of it? That's not the whole thing? I'm assuming the thing that's rattled him is the war being over. Wow. And last we heard or saw, Bester was working with the crew of Babylon 5, or cooperating, is perhaps a better word. So, will he be fully on board with this plan, or will he tell Babylon 5 what's happening?
If Clark wants to shut down Babylon 5, why not just send in the troops?
They tried that last year when they turned back our ships. It had a disastrous effect on morale.
So, we didn't say a lot of ships. Was it a couple? Was it 2 or 3, I think? And they got turned back by Delenn and Minbari cruisers, and said that affected morale. So, I say he could do a full assault. Does he know about the White Stars? My guess would be yes. Now, after everything that's happened, I suspect they probably would know about them by now. That's another reason not to do a full assault, because they think they'd lose. So the people they've got, what was it, Psychor, Psychops, the Ministry of Peace, quite the group for subversive tactics, undercover stuff. So, yeah, I wonder what they're going to do.
Your ship is ready to leave for Babylon 5?
The Centaurum met this morning to discuss choosing a new emperor.
Ah,
They voted to postpone any decisions for a while, so they could choose more wisely this time.
makes sense. Oh, choose more wisely this time, which implies they chose last time? I can't know if that happened. I assumed it was a natural line of the throne when the previous emperor died. Turhan? I can't remember what relation the last emperor was. I assumed son, but maybe not. But makes sense. It's a good sign that they're postponing that kind of thing and taking their time, not rushing into things, making the right choice. So that's a good sign for the future for them. They're not going to repeat the things from the past.
The Centaurum has decided to appoint a regent to the throne.
Who would take that job?
Him.
Actually, they've selected you.
Oh, he seems happy with that. Very happy. He does appear to be the least corrupt out of them.
I'm thinking. Pastels.
He's got his priorities straight for the first deed for him to do as a regent.
Don't see any sign of infection. That's good. Wouldn't want to go any deeper into your eye cavity to dig it out.
Ooh.
Is there any pain?
There is pain.
I can't even begin to imagine what that
How
would
can it
be
itch?
like.
It's no longer there.
Phantom limb syndrome.
Hmm.
There's a rumor that after Narn was freed, your people wanted to put you in charge. Is that true?
It is.
I have seen what power does, and I have seen what power costs. The one is never equal to the other.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. It was definitely the right choice. For their position at the moment, there shouldn't be one person in charge. There should be a group. Oh.
Yeah, what is it?
Mr. Garibaldi, we've got a coded message for you.
I put it through.
Oh.
Computer, delete last transmission and log of incoming messages.
Ah.
Something I want to say.
What?
I've decided to resign as head of security, effective immediately.
Whoa.
I mean, since we broke away from Earth,
Huh.
I can't exactly hold me to my Earth Force contract.
That is true. Why, though?
I don't want a vacation, a leave of absence, or a 5-day pass to Disney Planet.
Disney Planet!
I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting wars I can't even begin to understand.
There's obviously more going on here, but for what he just said, I can understand it. He signed up as head of station security, just looking after the security on Babylon 5, and it turned into something pretty big. And now it's over. I could see he might want to just a simpler life, basically, and get out of all of that. But yeah, that message has obviously caused him to do this. Don't quite get it all, but I do understand what he's saying.
We can't go home. President Clark would have us up for treason in a hot.
Oh, so what's he going to do?
You know, during the war, a whole lot of people lost a whole lot of things. They're going to need someone to help them find those things.
What's like a private detective? That would certainly take the pressure off. He would just be his own boss, doing his own thing.
The war was about finding our own way and making our own choices. If you won't let me do that,
True. What was the point?
what the hell are we fighting for?
Yeah. That Londo?
And if we don't rotate our people on a regular basis, they'll get burned out.
Does that mean he's going to be in charge?
Updates on who to hold,
Londo.
who to let through.
And would I fall under the category of unusual?
Yes. What's his interaction with Shakar going to be?
Said I would only be allowed to leave over his dead body. Mr. Allen said I would only be allowed back onto Babylon 5 over his... With my very busy schedule, I can only accommodate so many requests. You have to wait your turn.
Ooh.
But that's why it's important to check in on customs on a regular basis. You never know.
I assume my usual quarters in the brig are available.
I suppose what secrets do they have now for him to read?
You're gonna have one of those days.
Yeah.
Zach here.
The captain wants to see you ASAP.
Oh,
Problem with Mr. Garibaldi.
definitely one of those days. Yeah, so obviously in previous episodes when Bester has appeared, they've had stuff to keep from him. There was the war and everything, and all the forces they were building. It's all out there now. Is there anything that they'd want to keep secret from him? Maybe a few bits and pieces, but I think it's pretty much all done now. Yeah, not that I can think of, so I'm assuming they won't have the protections that they've had before.
Jakar. Hi.
Oh, you went looking for him, of course. Didn't find him.
Well, if you had stayed here on the station where you had sanctuary, then...
Yeah, but that wasn't your fault, that was his choice.
I'm sorry.
Welcome home, Mr. Garibaldi.
Because it was all for nothing. I mean, you went through all that for me, and...
His people are free.
Put me in the right place
Yeah.
to strike a deal with Molari. Because of that deal, my world is now free.
Yeah. That's so bizarre, but it's true. Just the choice, the fact that he went looking for Mr. Garibaldi led to the freedom of his people. Obviously, he's gone through a hell of a lot, but he's obviously happy with the ends that justify the means. But yeah, right place at the right time. In lots of TV programs you hear about, I think of Doctor Who in particular, but when you come to a crossroads and you can choose to go left or right, and it really can make all the difference. Who knows what life will throw at you if you go one way or the other? It really can change the path of not just your life, but many others, as in this example. It's quite amazing.
I'm just sorry I had to go through all this.
Yeah.
For this goal, I'd go through far worse.
Don't think there's much worse for him to go through.
You have a very weird way of looking at the universe, Jakar.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. If he didn't think that way, he'd go mad after what he's been through.
I didn't think the chief would ever walk away from this job.
You're in charge now.
Meanwhile, I'm putting you in charge of security.
Yeah.
After that, I want you to find Lita Alexander and escort her to the conference room. We're meeting with Bester in about an hour, and I want to be sure we're not scanned.
Okay. So they are still... They'd understandably put some defences up. Even if they know that Bester knows everything now, they wouldn't want Bester to know that he knows everything. So by putting up defences and things, it would give him the illusion that there's more for him to know, if that makes sense. So I can understand it from that point of view. I suppose there is, I can't think what it would be, but there are things that they don't want him to know at this stage. They're still offering some sort of protection with Lita there. But that actually does make a bit more sense.
The president took this action in response to reports from the Ministries of Peace and Security detailing possible terrorist threats emanating from Babylon 5.
Oh.
They'll release information regarding these threats at a later date.
Oh, yeah, just start the rumours. But, oh yeah, I'll give details about it, about the made-up stuff later on. But for now, yeah, they're terrorists, basically. Sowing the seed of distrust, controlling the media. So they try to cut them off completely. Although I thought that was kind of already the case. I thought they'd already stopped transports and ships going there. But I'm assuming some were still getting through. And now it's with force. They're completely cutting them off. Not sure they completely need Earth, though, at the moment, with all the support from the other races.
Listen, the captain wants me to escort you to the conference room. Bester just came aboard and...
What about a please can you help us?
How come the only time people come to see me is when they want something from me?
Yeah, they didn't even ask. Just said you're coming, pretty much.
Nobody comes by and says, let's have dinner.
I'm sure it's nothing personal.
I don't have to be a thief to know that you're lying.
You were close to the Vorlons. There's a rumor going around that before they left, they changed you, made some modifications, so...
Oh, you can't see her gills. Oh, that's weird. You just said about the Vorlons made modifications, and it cut to her, and I immediately looked for the gills that she had. And I think normally she had them covered up, but there's nowhere to cover up there. She's neck's completely exposed. So where are they?
Later on, if you still need some help unpacking this stuff, you call me, okay? I'll bring pizza.
Thanks.
Oh, well, don't complain. You didn't ask. You just said you wanted people to come and see you. I don't know which way this is going to go.
My world is now free. You no longer exist in my universe. Pray that we never notice one another again.
Okay, just cut the ties. What happened. Move on.
Mrs. Alexander has no business being here.
Not your choice.
Captain, this is pointless. She's a P5.
Haha.
She's not strong enough to block me anyway.
Think she might be. Try it. Okay, so he doesn't know everything.
Now that he's lost his allies among the shadows, the president is worried about what you might do next.
So he is going to inform them about everything.
He wants to destroy your credibility.
He started.
Undermine your position back home and among the alien governments.
Oh, and the alien governments. So cutting them off from Earth is the first part, then cut them off from the aliens as well, which means they'd be completely isolated. It's going to be difficult for them to do that, though, considering how the Repetition Babylon 5 and they have in particular now with the alien races.
With Phase 2, they get serious.
Which is?
And what's Phase 2?
Oh, Zach's fully on board now.
This information has a price tag.
What?
Said that you would help us in exchange for us trying to free your lover from the neural net.
But they haven't.
You haven't succeeded yet.
No.
If the shadows have left Zahadum, why not go there and take it? You take me to Zahadum and I'll tell you what I know about Phase 2.
It makes sense, but it also makes sense it's not going to be just abandoned.
We can send someone else, right?
No one else knows the area.
Oh! Was he trying to read them?
You okay?
And she stopped him.
Fine.
Yes!
Is there a consensus?
No.
He doesn't know.
Go anyway.
Because he can't read them.
You have my word.
President Clark has ordered the Earth Force Base in Sector 49 to keep a squadron of Star Furies on patrol.
That's interesting. He was making a bargain with them. And Sheridan said, "We'll do it. You have my word." And he's gone with that. Which kind of shows he does have some trust or respect for him. He believes his word. He's taken it from what he said. Interesting. I thought he was going to say, no, we go first, but yeah, he accepted it.
They've been told to challenge any ship coming through the gate.
Yeah.
A Black Omega squadron, an elite attack force attached to Psi Corps. Their mission is to jump out and destroy the security patrol, then leave behind evidence indicating that Babylon 5
frame them.
will help get the military and public opinion back on Clark's
Yeah, it would.
It's ironic, I suppose. Save the Earth Force Patrol and continue the blockade of Babylon 5. Let them be destroyed, and you'll be framed for murder.
It's no brainer.
Lose-lose proposition, Captain.
Well, it's not. I get what he means, being a lose-lose. It's not completely. I mean, it would be catastrophic if the one ships frame Babylon 5 for it. I mean, yeah, that'd be seriously bad. If they can stop them, then things aren't going to get worse, at least. But yeah, not a great position to be in.
It's not about a promotion. You know better than that. I just don't want you to make a mistake.
He's a good guy.
Nobody would hire you.
Why? What'd he do?
All said the guy's a problem.
We are all entitled to one really big, incredibly stupid screw-up in our lives.
Guy's a problem. Not really seen evidence of that.
And if I can be right about you, why can't I be right about me?
Okay, it's the whole joining the Night Watch thing, but that was kind of a gradual thing he got roped into and pulled down deeper and deeper down a rabbit hole. That wasn't, and as soon as he realised what was going on, he pulled himself out. Haven't seen signs of him. Literally just said he seems like a decent, nice guy, and that's been fairly consistent throughout the series.
He'll make a good chief. Well, not as good as me, but we can't expect miracles.
Talk about delusions of adequacy.
Delusions of adequacy. Nice. So where are they go? They go to Zahadum, or are they going to stop the attack on the ships? They're going to Zahadum because the Star Furies were going to stop the attack. They're sending Star Furies, not White Stars.
I figured, well, the war's over, we won. We should get a few days off before the next big crisis.
So I was just thinking things through a bit. I'm kind of backtracking on what I said earlier now then. I thought Earth would probably know about the White Stars and everything, but they're not sending White Stars, they're sending Star Furies, which kind of makes me think they don't want to tip their hand to show those ships. Not sure.
I repeat, security patrol to unidentified ships. Heave to at once.
So they're going to drop off the fighters.
Alpha Squadron to Earth Force Patrol. There's a trap. Break off. Break off.
Oh, they're taking out the freighter.
Saved our butts. Where the hell did you come from?
Babylon 5.
Babylon 5?
But you're the bad guys.
You've been keeping me out since I got here. A good question is why? A better question is
how?
You're stronger than the last time I saw you.
And that confuses him.
You have a moral obligation to share it with the Corps leader.
Oh.
Remember, I know things about you wouldn't want anyone else to know.
Ooh.
Never forget that.
Like, careful, she could do a lot of damage to you, I think.
It appears to be an evacuation.
The shadow ships?
Sorry, Shadow.
Oh.
Shadows could not have done all they did alone. They had allies, dark servants from other races.
Oh, well, like Mr. Morden and the other people.
Signals from the planet.
No, I'm not sensing anything. It feels dead.
Come about.
So, yeah, Mr. Morden and Justin and Sheridan's wife, they obviously, Mr. Morden in particular, came to interact with the humans. Makes sense that they'd have other representatives from other races as well go into those planets. So Mr. Morden equivalent for each race makes perfect sense. So they are leaving the planet.
Maybe the Shadows decided not to leave anything behind for others to steal.
No. No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would. Whoa!
Looks like we're still stuck with each other, Mr. Bester. Like I said, it's an imperfect world.
Ooh. That's a bit unfair, though, to be gloating like that. I mean, he's fulfilled his end of the bargain. I know Sheridan has as well. He said he'd take him to Zahadum, but...
Which one is she in?
He's not going to take that too well, is he? He's kind of lost a lot of his bargaining chips now.
6 men. My best pilots. They weren't my orders. I just passed them on.
Oh, God, he sacrificed them. Wow.
A hard thing. To send people in to die.
Don't think it is for you.
But I'd do it again.
Yeah.
Sheridan and the others. They're probably laughing right now.
Yes.
That's all right. I still have an ace in the hole.
I bet you got a few.
And it'll hurt them more than anything they've ever done to me.
Oh. Yeah, you don't want to piss him off, basically.
Good night. I'll see you soon.
Wonder if he can sense anything of her. I'm going to say no, because he asked which tube she was in, and he'd have known if he could have sensed her. I know she's in cryogenics, but even so, I was still wondering whether he could pick anything up.
The Shadows picked up on your telepathic signal.
What, should she warned them?
Sending a telepathic probe the moment we hit hyperspace. Of course, it would take a very powerful telepath to send a signal that far ahead.
Wonder who that could be.
Maybe even beyond a P-10 or a P-12.
So what is she?
Why would someone go through all that?
Theoretically, maybe because he got me angry.
What's revenge?
Over commands from the Vorlons I haven't recognized yet. Maybe because what's left on Zahadum can't be allowed to fall into anyone's hands for any reason.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Maybe because he has hurt so many of my people, he deserves to be hurt in response.
But that could backfire.
And I wouldn't have been told because he could scan me. But not you.
Yes.
Theoretically?
Well, theoretically.
Well, I'm glad we're talking theory.
Yeah, not at all.
Might even have supported the decision if this were to happen again.
He wasn't told.
Man-level decision were made without consulting me. I would turn you over to the Psi Corps. Am I perfectly crystal clear?
Yes, sir.
He's not your commanding officer, though.
Yes? What?
Pizza.
Still need a hand?
I think she does need that at the moment.
I've been monitoring the gold channels. Clark's having a hell of a time explaining the ambush.
Ah.
It's all a terrible mistake, he says.
Well, I did wonder whether the message or the message would get back to Earth. Yes, they those fighters, the people were there who were going to be attacked, knew Babylon 5 saved them, but Earth could have blocked their signals, destroyed them another way, and still framed them. I'm surprised the message got out that it's Babylon 5 who protected them. I did wonder about that.
I was just thinking about those ships we saw leaving Zahadum.
Where have they gone?
We don't know what they took when they left.
Yeah.
Well, with Zahadum gone, it'll take a long time before they can do anything to anybody.
Not necessarily.
I just wish I knew where they were going.
Oh, I was waiting for a cutscene on that. Centauri Prime, then.
Just a bad dream.
Don't think it is whatever is going on. Ah. Good episode. The end of the last episode, obviously, the war was over. It's finished. The end. But it's not, is it? War doesn't just finish like that. Then after the war's won and lost by whichever side, then the cleanup begins. This was kind of starting to show that, and now Earth's picking up. Yeah, it makes sense what happened in this episode. They're a bit silly doing what they've done to Bester. Oh, it wasn't their fault what happened. Well, okay, it was Lita's fault what happened at Zahadum, but they didn't have to take the attitude they did towards Bester. That's just going to have made him angry, and he's now going to, be out for revenge. Not that he was fully, obviously, he's just using them anyway, but now he seems to be all out. So that was silly. There's, they could have, I don't know, just not been as mocking as they were. They could have done that. Zahadum blowing up. They actually destroyed that whole planet. And that takes a lot in itself to be able to destroy a whole planet. So, but it makes sense why she did it. She said it could have, it's partly revenge. It could also be partly to do with something the Vorlons had left behind, a defense mechanism. She knew that people were going to go to Zahadum. The Vorlons wouldn't want that kind of tech getting out there. So it could be partly that as well, the reason she sent the message. And to make sure that no one gets hold of their technology, her own feelings about that. All three reasons make sense. But yeah, they're allies, as John said. Where have they gone? There were quite a few of them. What are they going to do? What have they got with them? Those are all very good questions. Obviously, well, one at least has gone to Centauri Prime. And we've seen in the future that Londo will have one of those as well. Maybe that one. Yeah, interesting episode. Did like it. Not quite sure what's going on with Garibaldi. That message triggered that in him. And I would assume... No, I don't know. But why would you not want him where he was? Head of security, that's a big role. Now he's not in a position of power or anything, so I don't see his use. That's confusing. But the words he said made logical sense. But that's not the reason he quit. No, good episode. So from the high of the last one, it brought it down a bit, but it's picked up again now. There's lots of new threads appearing or reappearing. So yeah, be interesting to see where we go from here now. Yeah, let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next episode. Seeing you.